Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to explain the 5 reasons for menopause weight gain and what to do about them. So stay tuned. We're going to go through how to fix these things. Now, really quick, what happens a lot of times in menopause is you'll gain weight all of a sudden, even though you haven't changed anything. Or if you try to lose weight, all the stuff that used to work, well, it doesn't work anymore. Or even it makes things worse. Now, let me give you a quick example. I had a client named Jody. When Jody came to me, she had gained about 30 to 40 pounds of fat, even though she was an athlete. She was a triathlete. She was running triathlons and had always been active. And even around her house, the chores that were required, the upkeep of the land that she had, required a lot of activity. Well, all of a sudden, she started gaining all this weight, and she couldn't figure out why. So what did she do? Well, she did what a lot of women do. She went online. She tried to do low carb. She tried to do keto. She tried to do fasting, thinking that that would help, but it only made things worse. Well, when her and I started working together, we increased the amount of food she was eating. We increased the carbs. And all the things that they tell you not to do. And in 12 weeks, Jody lost around 30 pounds of body fat, and you can see what a difference it was. Now, the other things, by the way, that were going on, and this happens a lot in menopause, she was having brain fog, fatigue, mood swings, couldn't sleep very well. All of these things also reversed, even though she was doing all the things that if you go online, the so-called experts are saying to do, that only made things worse. So why is that? What happened? Well, like I said before, when you hit menopause, a lot of times it can feel like things change and they change suddenly. I mean, I've talked with women who gained 20 pounds in a month, all of a sudden. Or they're watching their weight go up and they're doing everything they can. They're restricting calories, they're cutting carbs, they're increasing exercise, and they just keep watching that weight go up. Or women who try to lose the weight but nothing works anymore. All the stuff that used to work, it just doesn't work anymore. So why does this happen, and how the heck do you fix it? Well, there's 5 reasons for this. Now, the first reason is stress. This is the big one. What happens is when we get older, our bodies get more sensitive to stress. Now think about this. If you compare a 20-year-old to a 90-year-old, that's obvious, okay? But somewhere in your 40s or 50s, your body will reach a certain level where it can't tolerate the same kind of stress anymore. Now with women, there's an extra layer on this. When your ovaries kind of stop producing the hormones, your adrenal glands take over. They become responsible for producing your hormones. And so if you're too stressed, your adrenal glands will always take precedence in making the stress hormones than they will the sex hormones. So if you're stressed, your adrenal glands are going to spend all their time producing the stress hormones, and they'll neglect your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, pregnenolone, things like this. This is a big problem. So things have to change. Now, all the stuff you were probably doing before was bad and not correct. You were just able to get away with it. And now you can't do that anymore. So here are some of the things that contribute to stress. If you're eating the wrong foods, or you're eating the wrong food at the wrong time of day or in the wrong combination, or you're eating foods that your body has maybe sensitivities to that are causing inflammation, that'll cause stress. If you're exercising either too much, too often, or too intense, that can cause too much stress. If you have a lot of emotional stress, whether it's at work, relationships, finances, whatever, that can cause stress. If you have toxins in your body, whether it's from your environment, like mold or something like that, or things like your cosmetic products that you're using, things of that sort can also cause stress. Parasites. If you have parasites, which we all do, by the way, okay, if you're a human being, you have them. So I'm going to put up a video. I explain exactly how to get rid of all these things in this video that I'm putting up here right now. But parasites will do it. Lack of sleep, dehydration, these will all cause stress. Now, if all of these are happening and you're stressed to the max, and you're going, well, let me exercise more and eat less, that only makes it worse. The good news is almost all of these are in complete control, and you can change any of them and really manage any of them as you want. You can change the foods, the type of exercise. You can work on emotional stress. You can detox. You can kill parasites, improve your sleep, and make sure you're getting enough water. So if you attack all of these things to the best of your abilities and you significantly de-stress your body, you will see amazing things happen. And in many cases, your hormones can actually balance on their own without hormone replacement therapy. And I just made a video, I'm going to link it up here, right here, about how to fix your hormones. You want to check that out too. Now, the next reason is gut health. Now, what happens is with all these stress things that I talked about, left unchecked for a long enough time, and as your body gets more sensitive, like I just described, this opens you up for gut issues. And there's so many women now that have gut issues, or they just will develop gut issues in their 50s all of a sudden. Well, because your immune system may be now a little bit compromised. Your body can't handle that same level of stress. And all the stuff that you have been doing that you thought was correct, but really wasn't, it all comes to a head and it starts creating symptoms. Now, whether it's a gut issue like leaky gut, or an overgrowth like a SIBO or a candida, or something else, you're having digestion problems, low stomach acid, all of these things can be fixed. All of them can be reversed. And again, we'll splash up a video either now or at the end specifically about what to do for gut issues. So check that out. Now, here's the 3-step process you need to go through with gut issues. You need to kill, you need to cleanse, and you need to heal. So if you have parasites or a overgrowth of bacteria or candida, you need to kill those things and then cleanse the body, detox it, and then allow it to heal. That's really the 3-step process. Now remember, the gut's going to control everything else in the body, and the gut can control and add to stress. By the way, too much stress can cause gut issues, so the two are very closely related. Okay, so what's the third reason you gain weight in menopause? Well, it's called RMS, which stands for repressed metabolic syndrome. What that means is years and years of dieting, whether you've restricted calories or done programs like Weight Watchers that restrict calories, or you've cut carbs, or you've done fasting or all these other things over the years. Over time, that will wreck your metabolism. And what it'll do, it'll cause the wrong enzymes to start firing in your body and the wrong hormones to start firing in your body. Things like insulin versus glucagon. You got cortisol, you've got LPL and HSL enzymes. And if you're doing things incorrectly, it'll shift your body into this repressed metabolic syndrome. I know it sounds complex, but it's really not. All that means is now your body can't burn fat anymore. It has a very difficult time burning fat. It actually will end up burning muscle in some cases. But then anytime you eat, you store it very quickly as fat. And this is why a lot of women will say, geez, I can spend a month being super strict and lose like 2 pounds. And then in one day, I look at a piece of bread and I gain 4 pounds. Okay, this is what's happening, and you've got to reverse that. And I will definitely be making an entire video on that. In fact, that's up next. That's going to be the next video, is how to heal your metabolism. So you're going to want to stay tuned. But really, what you need to do is you need to eat the right food at the right time in the right combination to cause the correct chemical reactions in your body. When you get the right chemical reactions and hormones and enzymes firing, what you'll be able to do is you'll reverse this repressed metabolic syndrome. You'll heal your metabolism. You'll get the correct chemicals and hormones and enzymes being produced, and this will cause the opposite. It'll cause your body to burn fat very easily and make it much more difficult for you to store fat. And this is what my clients do that allow them to eat all these different foods. They don't have to restrict calories. They don't have to cut carbs. And they lose weight faster and easier than ever before. Well, that's because they're learning how to create these correct chemical reactions. And it's very simple once you understand how to do it. It is different for everyone, though, and that's one of the keys. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Okay, the fourth reason you gain weight in menopause is your thyroid goes down. Now, there's a medical term called diet-induced hypothyroid. Now, all that means is you cause hypothyroid from your diet. It's diet induced, okay? Now, the reason this happens is usually twofold. Number one is you've cut carbs. Number two is you've added fat. If you eat too little carbs, this will prevent your body from efficiently being able to convert T4 to T3. And your body uses that T3 to speed up its metabolism and burn fat. So if you're not eating enough carbs, you'll lower your T3 levels. Now, similarly, if you're eating too much fat, this will kind of bog down the T4 production. And if you have less T4, you won't be able to convert as much to T3, so you'll also have less T3. This is one of the biggest problems I see these days, is so many women are doing low carb diets and low calorie and fasting diets that they wreck their own thyroid. And I run in the same circles as some of the top doctors and influencers, and one of the most prescribed medications is Armour Thyroid, because so many women are having thyroid issues. This is a big problem. Now, the other piece to that is the liver, because your liver is one of the main organs that converts that T4 to T3. And if it's either clogged up or you're not giving it the right fuel, i.e. the right food to create the correct chemical reactions, that liver will have a very difficult time converting that T4 to T3, which is why that food is so important. Now, the last reason, number 5, that you're gaining weight in menopause all of a sudden is your food and exercise balance is incorrect. And what do I mean? Well, same thing happened with Jody. She was exercising way too much for what she was eating. And this happens so often. Someone will do a diet, and that diet does not match up to their activity level. Or they'll do an exercise program, and now the exercise does not match up with the nutrition. You need to find the balance where you're losing weight. That means you're not exercising too much, you're not exercising too little either. You're in the sweet spot. And you're eating the right food at the right time in the right combination to support that exercise and cause the correct chemical reactions. Now, once you find that balance, if your exercise increases, so does your food. If your exercise decreases, so does your food. They'll now move together because you've essentially found that perfect balance. If your exercise is too much for the food, you're going to go into starvation mode and you're going to overstress your body and you're back to square one. If the food's way too much for the exercise, which is very rare, I've never seen that happen in the 20 years I've been doing this, then yeah, you might gain a little bit of body fat, and all that would require is a subtle change. But the biggest problem is most women are doing too much exercise and not eating enough, because our brains tell us, and everywhere online says calorie deficit, and this is why I recommend you don't use the calorie restriction method for weight loss. I have a whole video, I'm going to put it right up here. I have a whole video on why you shouldn't restrict calories. There's much better ways to lose weight and burn off body fat. Now, next video is coming out is how to reverse this RMS and heal your metabolism. So you definitely want to tune in. You're going to want to subscribe. Make sure you're here, so when we drop that video in the next few days, you'll be able to check it out. And I hope this is helpful. Make sure you check out our other videos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Next time, Heal the Metabolism. Check out that video. We're going to splash it up here when it's available. But otherwise, check out some of our other great lessons. All right, we'll talk soon. Take care.